All right. So here we are. I've been telling you what to do in so many videos. Now I'm going to tell you what not to do. We're going to discuss how to stay on Facebook's good side. I don't want to scare you with this information. I have read it. Other people have read it. We've all come to interpretations. There is an easy way to stay on the good side of Facebook. And we're going to discuss. It. Before we start, though, I just want to talk about, you know, uh, this is a company that you don't want to push the edge of the line with. If they have a rule that is, says something very specifically, stay at least 10 feet back from that rule. The reason is because Facebook doesn't give you plenty of chances. And when they make a decision, it's kind of final. It is very hard to get some of those decisions reversed. I personally do not know yet of anyone who has had their access to Facebook Messenger, their page account, access to that Messenger account pulled or limited, but it could happen. And when it does, Facebook doesn't really care about the individual as much. There is no customer service line with these people. So stay on the good side. Don't push the edge. Don't push the envelope. And make sure that you're taking care of your people. And we'll get to it in just a second. Why Facebook is being pretty stringent about this. And honestly, it's a good reason. It's good for all of us. So without further ado, we're going to look at 3 pages. I'm going to give you the links to these pages on the course page as well. I'm going to read them to you a little bit. I'm going to cover over some stuff, but please do read, understand these thoroughly. The ability to message people off of your Facebook page is not something you want to lose, particularly if you've got a fan page that hundreds and hundreds of people like. You don't want to lose that access. You want to stay on their good side. You want to take this tool that we're using right now, this bot stuff, you want to take it to the limit. And you absolutely can by staying within the confines which they ask you to stay within. So without further ado. Okay, here we are. Here's the first link. This is a policy overview about the Messenger platform. It's an overview. It's kind of a, getting some things right in your mind. It's not the in-depth policy. We'll look at that next. But there's a couple of things that I want to go ahead and call out now. First of all, here is the standard messaging 24-hour window. The basic gist of this is that if you have somebody in your bot that you are communicating with once every 24 hours, as long as they're responding, you can send them anything. You can send them ads with prices right on them. You can send them, whatever you want. Once they get past the 24-hour window, that is when you have to start sorting out, what do you want to send them? So some of this is going to be geek speak. Bear with. It's going to be worth it in the end, I promise. You have an allowance to send one message after that 24-hour window. If you have asked as one of the calls to action in your bot for them to subscribe to news and updates, you can send a message that you've got some news going on. Would you like to hear about it? Then offer them a button that says yes or no. When they hit the button yes, then you're back within your 24-hour window. You can send them whatever you want. Facebook is trying to prevent a cold message that says, buy, a picture of a shoe and buy this shoe for $4.95. They're on sale. Well, it's spammy. It's not a conversation. It's not a connection. And if it's somebody you haven't talked to in 60 days, they're going to consider it annoying. Facebook gives people plenty of opportunities to report your bot, as negative or annoying. People can unsubscribe at any time. People can delete the conversation. Facebook offers people a ton of ways to get out of talking to you if they don't want to. Now, this is a different little bit of a mindset than email. Email is get everybody in the world on your list. And spray and pray, basically. Spray the world with the message and hope some people trickle back to you. Getting large numbers is the game. On bots, getting large numbers isn't the game. The more you get, and that only make it part way in and get disinterested, or something like that, the more you risk somebody going, this is really annoying, and reporting your bot for being annoying. Getting good numbers is good, but what you really want to focus on is when people unsubscribe, it's a gift. When people unsubscribe, it's a gift. You don't have to read through their messages daily if they've unsubscribed. If they've shown themselves as uninterested, that is a wonderful thing, because then you can continue to communicate only with the people that are interested in you and you're interested in them. So unsubscribe is good. Getting 1 billion people and spraying an indiscriminate message to all those 1 billion people is not the name of the game in here. And unsubscribes actually are a push in the right direction, honestly. So anyway, back to the main thread. I get a little storytelly. I'm sure you've noticed this. Anyway, here we go. So that's the 24-hour window. If somebody's actively involved in your bot, you can send them any kind of message you want. After the 24-hour window has passed, you can still send a follow-up message, and if somebody clicks a button in one of your messages, then that means that you're within that 24-hour period again, and you can send them anything that you want. If they do not click, then your message, if you try to send them another follow-up message, is simply not coming, not happening. So here's some other details on the policy for standard messaging. There's two kinds of messages. There's standard messages and subscription messages. Subscription messages are when people, when you ask people if they want to subscribe to news and updates, and they say yes, and you send out the occasional update. Okay. Perfect. Next section that I really wanted to talk to you about, there is subscription messaging for specific use cases. And note this word, darlings, beta. Beta means it could change. It could change. These are pages that I have bookmarked. These are pages that I'm going to visit once a month over my morning coffee, whether I want to or not, to see if anything has changed. This is an incredibly powerful tool we're using. It deserves a little maintenance. So hope that you practice the same. But this is beta. This is all about the subscription content. It can be sent out of the 24-hour period. Has to be opted into, and will have limited functionality. Limited functionality being you can't sell the picture of the shoe for $5. You can't send an offer right out of the bat. That, if you think about it, that's like a conversation happens. If somebody that you haven't seen in 6 months shows up at the door with something to sell to you, what do? You go, this is annoying. Wish I didn't have to open the door. Facebook Messenger allows you to not open the door. It allows your users to not open the door if this is not what they want to hear, and that's only good for you. Use cases that are eligible for subscription messaging. This news primary purpose to inform people about recent or important or events or information. Okay, so they have some use cases there: sports, finances, business. For me, that's going to be when I beat people back and say, hey, I've got an update on what I've got going on. Would you like to hear about it? And then they can hit the button, or they can leave the message alone. Productivity. Calendar events, receiving reminders, and paying bills. Okay, so you're a mom and pop flower shop. You've got a whole lot of high school kids. They are all they have all subscribed and you shoot out a reminder that the flowers have just arrived, first come, first serve. Get it while it's hot, kids. That's something that would be eligible because you're sending people a reminder. Personal trackers, I don't see a whole lot of integrations for this. Integrations that enable the people receive and monitor information about themselves. That's not really. I don't see a whole lot of use for that. There may be something in the future, but most of the stuff that you would normally send, news and productivity category, those fit into there. Here's this chart. It really has some is the readability on this thing. This is something you can totally read over that just to kind of understand it. But I want to get down to something that is down here. Okay. This right here, this paragraph that I am mousing over, how can people control the messages they receive in Messenger? I'm going to read it out loud to you because it's really important, okay? This is the cornerstone of every policy that they have built around this thing, and I want you to understand it completely. We offer multiple controls throughout Messenger to customize the experience and ensure people are only messaging with the people and businesses they care about. This sentence right here is the reason that this Facebook Messenger marketing is never going to turn into what email turned into, which was spam, spam, spam. I'm now singing the Monty Python song in my head. Anyway, this is what ensures they've put these things in place not to make it hard for you to contact people. They want to make it easy for their users to connect with people that they care about connecting with. You may connect with a bot for a couple of weeks and then, never again. You may stay connected with one if you care about connecting with them. This is why subscriber numbers, it doesn't matter as much as it used to with email. They do everything to ensure that the Facebook users are communicating with people and businesses they care about, not getting, one-off weird offers for the work-at-home job. They're being very, very careful here. So do understand that. If you understand nothing else about this terms of service discussion, understand what I just said, because it will guide you in moments of uncertainty. Okay. There's no reason to be afraid that you're going to get your business pages Messenger account jerked if you're following the policy. And if you're scared that you're not following the policy, back it off a little bit. Make the message softer. Hard sell doesn't work well. Hard sell doesn't work well in Facebook Messenger marketing. It just is not, it's just not going to work. The format is wrong. The delivery system is wrong for it. This is all information, soft sell. I'm personally just never selling anything and driving people to book a calendar appointment with me, because then I can figure out if people, if we're going to be good together, and what program they're going to be right for. That might not be right for everybody. Some of you carry products as well. Just saying, if you ever find yourself questioning whether you're on the right side of the law or not, back up. Just back up. Don't question anymore. Have somebody look at it. Don't go afoul of Facebook. Because honestly, yeah, you could get your Messenger account jerked if you had enough people saying that they had a negative experience, or if you violated the policy too many times and Facebook has their eye on you, you could get your Messenger account jerked. But you're going to suffer consequences of being overselly way before that happens, because people just aren't going to respond to you. If you're going to take the time to put all of this time and energy into this, go on the soft side. It's going to serve you a heck of a lot more. And you won't have to worry about running afoul of the policies. Okay, fantastic. I'm looking at my script here. Okay, payments. I've been asked about this. Using Facebook Messenger itself to do payments, it's a long process. B, you can totally pay people through Facebook Messenger now. It's just that a lot of people are suspicious of that technology and it's not really popularly adopted. Some of the big brands are doing it. The hip monks of the world, that's a travel service where you can book flights, hotels, cars for your next trip. 1-800-Flowers. Those people, they've got to deal with Facebook. They're processing payments on the Facebook payment processing system. People who are a little less big time, people like you and me, you might consider, if you want somebody to pay, if you want to sell things through your app, you might want to link out to a different page, which is a payment page, which is a page on your website or your PayPal link or a link to an invoice or something like that. You may want to do that. Here are some things that I would like to call to your attention. Okay, hold please. Gotta move this little bar out of the way. If you're going to do that, Facebook has a special little form that they'd like you to fill out. And so here it is. It's a pretty short form. Thanks for providing. We'll reach out shortly for our response. These two things, app name, app ID, you don't need them. You just need the first four, and you need to be an admin of the page. But I do want to tell you something. If you choose to go this route, you must send to a payment page that has a couple of things on it. And that is terms of service, privacy policy. Now, terms of service and privacy policy, if you're running Facebook ads, they're probably something you already have in the footer of your website. Good for you if you've got those. If you don't, see a lawyer. That was attractive. If you don't have those already, invite a lawyer friend for dinner and generate some of those bad boys, or you can go to an online generator and have one generated for you within 5 minutes. But do have those links on your page somewhere, on that payment page somewhere. Facebook looks for those. They want to. They are again attempting to protect their user experience. They want people to feel safe purchasing from your stuff. If you can have also an HTTPS, a secure site, you want to point to signs of trust. If you're going to link out to a separate page, point to signs of trust, as many as you can amass on a single page. So that's a long conversation and a separate one about HTTPS and all of that. So do make sure that these things are in place before you fill this form out, because you never know when they're going to take a look. Okay, perfect. And at this time, let's see, let's go to another page here. I'll have all three links for you. We went over the general policies here. There is also a more in-depth policy for Messenger, and that is here. It's within Facebook for Developers here. Again, I'll have the link for you. But when you link to this page, scroll down to number 16, Messenger platform. All the rest is incomprehensible anyway. So in this, they talk a lot about the payment stuff and the fact that you cannot sell digital products through Messenger. Read this through. Again, sometimes they have little examples. Your app should not receive excessive negative feedback. We've talked about that a little bit. Be sure your app insights reflect a positive experience. That message is kind of inconsequential. Pardon me. Let me see here. Okay. This talks about, a little further about those acceptable message types, and this contains a good example of types of messages that are considered okay to send to people. No money on this. No money on this. This is a learn something. Let's see. And then it's asking you to book a time. So if you're, sending something out to people that, if you're a person who books phone calls and you get business that way, you can totally send them messages about that, as, part of those follow-up messages. So that's the deal. Read through this, look at all of the little blue guys, and in this offers and payments section down here, if you are looking to sell things directly through a Facebook Messenger bot, then do read this and review it and make sure that you know what's going on there. So, very good. A workaround, if there's just too many hurdles in trying to sell out of a bot, sell somewhere else. Use the bot to drive users toward more participation with you. Drive them to a group. Drive them towards scheduling a call. Warm that space up and make them an offer outside the Messenger bot platform. You can do it from within Messenger. You can link to an outside page. There's just a lot of hurdles in there. If you want to cut that short, make it about conversation and connection. Don't make it about selling, and you'll be able to avoid some of the admin, some of the adulting that you'd have to do otherwise. Okay, very good. So again, Facebook isn't trying to be jerks. What they are trying to do is create the very best user experience they can. They've seen what happened to email. Email, you remember when this thing came out? I remember. I am old enough to remember when email came out. It was a miracle, okay? It was so fantastic. Getting an email was like, somebody wrote me. It was exactly like, getting a letter in the mailbox. It was so fantastic, except it was cooler because you could read it on your computer. Yeah, that was 20 years ago, right? Things have changed. People discovered the platform. People exploited the platform. And now here we are in a place where, you give fake email addresses so you don't have to see more spam. There's stuff like unroll.me that will desubscribe you from stuff immediately with one click, because sometimes it's so hard to unsubscribe from stuff. There's so many abuses out there. Facebook, by creating these rules, has created a place where, A, they control all the traffic, and B, it's in place so that people are only communicating with people that they care about, people and businesses they care about. So do remember that because of these policies, it'll just never be abused as much as email has been. People will get less. They will hopefully not get any spam at all through the messenger, and that is only good for us, because that means that we can invest in this platform now with our time and our money, and it'll still be good in 5 years. People won't discover it, descend upon it, and tear it up into, I'm getting another Facebook message from another company that I don't care about. That's not going to happen. So follow the policies, read them, look at them regularly, make sure that you know what's going on. And that's it for this video. Thanks for taking the time to learn about this. It's worth your time. It's going to be awesome. And I will see you in a bot.